Friends, do you know that Mercedes-Benz, which is today the world's most valuable luxury automobile brand, was started by a poor boy named Karl Benz who lived in a hut in Germany? This is the same Karl who is considered the inventor of petrol-powered vehicles. He lost his father at just 2 years of age. His mother worked in other people's houses so that Karl could study and become a capable businessman. When he started his business, his own friend turned out to be the biggest betrayer. And finally, when success seemed within reach, his manufacturing plants were destroyed in a bomb blast. But then, how did Mercedes-Benz manage to survive again after so many challenges? In today's video, we are going to know the full story. So friends, the story of Mercedes-Benz starts from November 25, 1844, when Karl Benz was born in the town of Mühlberg, Germany. His father was a locomotive driver by profession, so initially, Karl and his family were financially stable. But just 2 years after his birth, when his father passed away, a mountain of sorrow fell upon the family. To run the family, his mother now had to step out. Karl Benz's mother took on various different jobs, including working in other people's houses, so that Karl wouldn't face any kind of shortage. And friends, understanding his mother's hard work and sacrifice, Karl Benz studied diligently. He liked chemistry and mechanics a lot, which had the effect that at just 15 years of age, he qualified for the mechanical engineering exam. Then, after completing engineering from the University of Karlsruhe, in the next few years, Karl Benz worked at 7 different places where he got the chance to develop many new types of skills. This was the era of the 18th century when people had only one major means of transportation: horse carriages. Although the bicycle had been invented at that time, it wasn't used very widely. Karl Benz was confident that a time would come when fuel-powered vehicles would be seen everywhere instead of horse carriages. But this idea was like a dream, upon hearing which people would start making fun of him. But still, Karl was sure that his dream would definitely come true. After this, in 1871, when he was 27 years old, he took a big decision and left his good job to start an iron business with a mechanic named August Ritter. Alongside this new business, Karl also started working on his motor vehicle on the side. And he had become so passionate about it that at one point, he left his entire business to his friend Ritter. In such a situation, Ritter took full advantage of this opportunity and betrayed Karl Benz, due to which the company reached the brink of collapse. But friends, during this difficult time, Bertha entered his life, who later became his wife. Bertha was from a very rich family, and her parents had saved a lot of money for her dowry. And friends, it was with that money that Karl and Bertha together bought all the shares that August Ritter had in the company. In this way, this iron business now completely belonged to Karl and his wife Bertha. Moving forward, in 1879, he invented the 2-stroke engine and also got its patent in his name. Apart from this, Karl Benz had already patented many things like the battery system, spark plug, clutch, gear, carburetor, and gear shift in his name. But unfortunately, despite this, the company was not able to generate a specific profit. And due to this, he started selling the shares of this company. A time came when Karl's own share in the company was reduced to just 5%. The effect of this was that his reputation in the company became almost negligible, due to which Karl Benz thought it best to leave here. Some time later, he met 2 brothers, Max Rose and Friedrich Wilhelm, who owned a bicycle shop. And then these 3 together started a company named Benz & Company. Working in this company, Karl was getting a lot of time to work on his dream. Because of this, in 1885, he built a 3-wheeled bicycle that could be operated by gasoline and a 4-stroke motor. Karl patented this 3-wheeled bicycle and named it the Benz Patent Motorwagen, whose maximum speed was 16 km/h. Now, there was a very big problem with this model. It was quite difficult to control. So when it was demonstrated, it went straight and hit a wall, and people made a lot of fun of Benz. Along with that, people also developed a fear about the gasoline-powered motor that it might explode while riding. Due to this, very few units of this vehicle were sold, and the product could not achieve much success. Now, friends, this event was quite demotivating for Karl, but still, he did not give up and got busy making his vehicle even better. After this, in 1888, he released Model 2 of that vehicle, and then in the same year also built Model 3. Now, because Karl had not yet been able to forget the accident that happened during the first demonstration, he did not want to publicize these models. But his wife Bertha felt that Model 3 was perfect in every way and should be demonstrated. But even after a lot of persuasion, Karl Benz did not agree to this. And friends, troubled by this, one morning Bertha took a very big step. She took both her children in this motor wagon and went to meet her mother. And friends, let us tell you that it was this 107 km journey that changed the automobile industry forever. On the way, when people saw this three-wheeled vehicle moving without any horse, they started running away in fear, as if a ghost was passing in front of them. The scene was the same wherever Bertha passed with her car. Several times on the way, this car broke down, which Bertha repaired herself and continued the journey. The fuel capacity of Model 3 was only 4.5 liters, so upon reaching Wieslach, her fuel ran out. After this, she bought a petroleum solvent, Ligroin, from the nearby city pharmacy and put it in the car. This is why the city pharmacy is still called the world's first filling station. During this journey, Bertha saw that the wooden brake in the motor car was quite worn and not working properly. So she replaced it with a leather brake, which made her journey even easier. In this way, after facing bad roads, the motor car stopping repeatedly, and many such problems, she finally completed her journey in 12 hours. After spending some time with her mother, Bertha returned to Karl and told him about all the problems in the motor car. And friends, later, based on her feedback, this vehicle was improved even more. Apart from this, Bertha's journey had become so popular that people from far and wide started coming to Karl to see this motor car. Due to this popularity, the company's internal combustion engine also sold a lot. And then in no time, Benz and Company became the world's largest automobile company at that time. In 1893, Karl Benz named his car the Benz Victoria, which was considered the most luxurious car of that time. After this, by 1899, his company sold 572 cars worldwide, which was a very big number at that time because in that era, the main means of travel was considered to be the horse carriage, and such motor cars were used only by royal families or very rich people. Now friends, at that time, Karl also had a rival company named Daimler Motorengesellschaft, DMG. It was run by two partners, Gottlieb Daimler and Wilhelm Maybach, and that company also made amazing motor cars. Actually, Daimler had succeeded in building an engine that could be attached and run with a motorcycle, boat, or any trolley. Gottlieb Daimler was an excellent engineer as well as a very good businessman under whom the company had seen a lot of growth. Also, in March 1901, he introduced the Mercedes 35 HP, and at that time it received a lot of popularity. This was a time when both companies, i.e., Karl Benz and Company and Gottlieb Daimler's DMG, were setting new records every day. But then World War I started, which affected the production of the companies, and both went into heavy losses. During that time, they survived somehow, and when the war ended, their production started improving a bit. However, these golden days did not last long either because, due to a recession in the market, these companies started facing losses again. And a time came when Karl felt that his company would not be able to survive for long this way. On the other hand, Gottlieb Daimler's cars were also not selling, and due to continuous losses, he was also becoming troubled. Then came the year 1926, when both companies decided to merge with each other. In this way, Benz and Company and Daimler Motorengesellschaft were merged, and a completely new company was started, named Daimler-Benz AG. And friends, this same company later came to be known as Mercedes-Benz. In the coming years, these two companies together launched many excellent models in the market and then slowly started progressing. However, just 3 years after this merger, Karl Benz died. But still, no flaws were seen in the company's operations or its quality. The company was launching new models, and new and advanced improvements were being seen in every model, which people liked a lot, such as the Mercedes-Benz 710 SSK. This was the era when the company wrote history for the first time and sold 7,000 cars. But in 1933, as soon as power in Germany came into the hands of Adolf Hitler, it seemed like everything changed from that time onwards. Hitler was a big fan of Mercedes-Benz, and from 1934 to 1939, he made Mercedes-Benz win maximum races. The condition was that after winning the race, Mercedes-Benz had to stop its main production and make cars only for the military forces. And you know, the company had no other option but to agree to this. Later, Hitler asked to increase production even more, but most people were participating in the war, so the company started facing a shortage of workers. In such a situation, the company hired many women so that orders for weapons, aircraft engines, and submarines could be completed as soon as possible. However, after some time, the company saw that they were not able to achieve their target, due to which a large number of those Jews whom Hitler had imprisoned were put to work inside the factory. At one time, 63,000 prisoners were working in this Benz factory. Because of this, when Germany was defeated in World War II, this company also had to face a lot of criticism. Due to this, all manufacturing plants in countries outside Germany were taken away. And from here, Mercedes-Benz's bad phase started again. But friends, even after all this, the company did not give up and decided to make a fresh start. This time, the company started manufacturing cars for ambulances and police. And then later, the company also introduced many excellent cars for the public. But in the global market, it was still not getting the reputation it once had. Now, innovation and dramatic styling have always been the identity of Mercedes-Benz. In 1952, the company introduced a very futuristic car with gull-wing doors, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, which proved to be quite popular. In 1953, the company introduced the Mercedes-Benz W120 and W121 series, and this series included the Mercedes-Benz 180 and 190 models, which were very compact cars for everyday use. Apart from this, many other cars like the Mercedes-Benz 220, 220S, and 190 SL were launched, due to which the company slowly started re-establishing its presence in the global market. After this, the company made many types of safety and technological innovations. For example, it was the world's first car company to fit a 4-valve diesel engine in its car to make the car's performance even smoother and enhanced. Apart from this, in 1961, the company also started providing seat belts in its cars. Along with that, attention started being paid to features like ABS braking, airbags, and passenger safety. Along with such innovations, the company also thought of targeting the youth, for which they started many ad campaigns. After this came the year 1994, when Mercedes-Benz entered India and set up its plant in Pune, Maharashtra. The Mercedes-Benz W124 was launched for the first time in India in 1995. However, this was not the first car of this brand that came to India, because in 1991, the Mercedes-Benz 190D car, which is now known as the E-Class, was specially imported from Germany for JRD Tata in India. If we talk about the present, the company sells 26 of its models in the Indian market, and out of every 4 Mercedes-Benz cars sold worldwide, 1 is sold in India, whose average cost is more than 1 crore. If we look at the company's highest-selling model, then it is the E-Class. Today, Mercedes-Benz has succeeded in creating such an image of its cars, not just in India but all over the world, that people see it not as a vehicle but as an achievement. And today, it is a dream car company for millions of people.